Okay, listen. This is a pre-recording message. Don't listen to this until you have watched the episode broadcast on Monday, the 16th of February.
Yes, we're putting this out early because we watched it early, but this is an instant reaction to the big episode on Monday, 16th of February. So if you haven't watched it yet, stop. You want to watch it first before you listen to this, because this is where we talk about our reactions, our theories, our initial thoughts about it. It's big stuff.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this cannot wait. We're recording this on Friday because we got a cheeky little flash forward of a flash forward.
We did, didn't we? Yes. I mean, well, you make it sound like we were given exclusive access to Monday. No, we weren't.
Completely legitimately, we were able to watch it on YouTube before they took it down by accidentally uploaded it to the official.
I can't believe. How did that even happen? From Monday's episode got uploaded today.
Yes, on the
3 days in advance. Seriously, how did that even happen?
There are conspiracy theories this was purposefully done. I can guarantee you that it wasn't. It's not how it works.
This is a mega accident. But,
yes, somebody's in trouble.
Hey,
somebody's having a really bad weekend already. And it's only Friday afternoon.
We knew that Monday's episode would be quite the spectacle, so we couldn't resist the urge to have a little look and watch it early.
Well, we couldn't possibly go on Twitter without having.
Yeah, well, people are going to be talking about it, aren't they?
Okay, so what happened?
Just doing a little reaction cast to it, aren't we? Because this is obviously what Corrie wants the big thing, the big talking point to be over the next few months. The question is, did they do a good job of making it? So what did you think?
I was surprised at how little flash forward there was.
Oh, were you?
I thought there would be an entire episode.
Oh, I can't remember. I thought that they'd maybe said somewhere that it was going to be flashing back and forth.
But don't forget that I don't want to read any spoilers, so I don't tend to try to find out information like that. I don't see how, looking back on it, it would be very difficult, because how do you slot the action that happened in your preview into the week without it becoming repetitive?
Yeah.
But
it was a tease, wasn't it?
Because it's only 22 minutes and they're playing with format more, it felt to me like I was going into it going, oh, it's going to be the whole thing's going to be a preview. And I was right when I said that it was going to happen on the Swaller wedding day.
You did legit that, didn't you?
But see, this is why I thought there would be more. I thought there'd be Swaller wedding stuff in it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I thought we'd get to see their dresses and things.
I'm very surprised,
outfits,
to be honest, that they've set a date quite so soon in the future. Because this is only, 2 months away now? 2 and a bit months away?
April 23rd, Michael.
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
Nothing. Why?
Payday.
Oh, it's my payday, isn't it? Yeah.
23rd of any month is hardwired into my brain.
So, I mean, I want to know what's going to happen to allow them to be married, because she is technically still married to Becky. Are they going to kind of hand wave that? Or because Carla and Lisa, they in this Monday episode, didn't even bring it up, did they?
No.
It wasn't a discussion point. Hang on a minute, aren't you still married to Becky? So it just gives me the feeling that they're just going to say, oh, it'll be fine.
The thing is, if Becky had run away and they decided not to say anything, Kit had gone, oh, it's better if we don't, it's better for everyone if we just pretend she was dead all along, and that would make more sense. It doesn't make any sense at all, but it makes more sense than the fact that Becky has clearly been pretending to be dead, nobody cares about it, and the courts and the law are like, oh well.
They can't rush an annulment or anything in this quickly, do it? Because that takes time.
You can't annul a marriage.
Well, not annul. It's a quickie divorce.
No,
I don't think that happens in 2 months. But hey, I've never been divorced.
Well, I've looked into it extensively. I think they are going to completely ignore that. I genuinely think they're just going to ignore it because it's too inconvenient and it's one of these little itty bitty things that they don't concern themselves with.
Well, they did still have that final shot of Becky in the prison, didn't they? With everybody saying, "Oh, we're going to kill you, you scum, you." So
I know it's not an itty bitty thing.
No.
Well, no, because on Monday, the Monday's episode was partly Monday and partly 23rd of April.
Yeah.
And in Monday, what are we? 14th, 15th, 16th. Carla was not going, what's that? She's dead? Oh, brilliant. I'm going to organise my wedding now.
No.
There's no indication. It didn't happen over the weekend. It didn't happen today on Friday. she's alive.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's this kind of like, I'm sure she'll die between now and April the 23rd. But even so, like, how quickly can, when your wife dies, can you remarry? Is it the next day? Do you have to bring the death certificate to the wedding? Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. Are you a little bit disappointed that the one of the Flashforward victims wasn't Becky, and that was a fake out final episode a couple of weeks ago? Oh yeah, yeah. We've had suggestions in the past about who the dead people could be. I don't know that somebody's taking this from. I was Inside Soap magazine, so I'll give them credit for this. Lovely Inside Soap magazine, of course. We love all the soap journalists. They work very hard. Wish I got paid to do it, but they do, and it's very, very, very good. So they've done this graphic, and it was about the potential victims, and they did have Becky on there, but they've picked 5. They had Carl, Theo, Megan, and Maggie. So who've they not got? Who?
I was hoping you would jump in and tell me, because I've forgotten already.
Who's the other person supposed to be?
They're all villains, weren't they?
Yeah.
Maggie, Theo, Carl,
Megan,
and
Jodie. It was Jodie, wasn't it?
Of course it was Jodie. Oh,
how could we forget?
This is a very raw live reaction. We're just recording a quick thing for you guys, because
it felt like it was the sort of episode that an instant reaction would be important for.
Right, so it's happening. The Flash. We're not going to talk about what happened in the rest of Monday's episode, because some of it was just a preview of why the person you're about to see might be the victim. So the 5 people are the potential bodies that Betsy and her friend, I assume it's Lauren, stumble across in the darkness while the fireworks.
And the fact that they just didn't say it could be another. But I don't see what the excitement would be if it's actually she makes friends with.
It's Maggie.
Roy. I don't know.
So the fireworks in the darkness. So the fireworks are the Swain wedding fireworks.
Yes. What do you think about? What was your reaction to who the victims are?
Right, so let's go through them. So who did?
No, just like in general, like, because I'm going to say right now that as they were being revealed, for a lot of them, I was just like, Well, they were all characters. It's 2025, 2026 Coronation Street in a nutshell, isn't it? It's all characters that have only been in the show for less than a year, I think. All of them. So there's no characters there that we've been long-term invested in. And usually with these whodunits, they'll at least throw in a classic character or somebody that actually anyone cares about. I don't know whether people care enough about any of these victims to make this as exciting as Corrie wants it to be. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Props to them for picking 5 people that genuinely could all be the victim.
I
don't think any of these are fake outs, and the danger is always that they throw in a token oldie, like you're suggesting, and we all go, well, it's not going to be Ken, is it?
But do you agree that it just feels a bit like this is Corrie in a nutshell saying, look at us bringing in new characters and they're all disposable, literally. As they were all being revealed, I was thinking, who's the next disposable character that could possibly be flash forwarded to next?
I get what you're saying, but I think it justifies some of the choices they've been making about having so many villains and miserable storylines going on at the same time. I've seen a lot of criticism, and I completely understand it, that it is very miserable and there's so many horrible things happening and so many nasty people. But the idea that one of them is going to get their delicious just desserts in April is just really brilliant. I love that idea.
It is, but I don't know. I mean, we've still got 2 months to build up to it, but I'm kind of thinking I'd rather it was something satisfying and a character who, I've been building up this long-term hatred for or something. I don't know. I mean, is it...
But how would there be 5 of those people?
I don't know.
But you see what I mean? These people all have equal status. I think Jodie's probably the outlier to me because she's so new. So if it was Jodie, I'd be kind of disappointed. But they're all on an equal pegging as far as I don't want to lose Maggie. I don't want to lose Carl.
I do. I think Carl's probably the most likely, I'm going to say.
Yeah,
I'd be absolutely stunned if it's Jodie, considering she's only been in it since the beginning of the year, and she doesn't strike me as this character's only going to be in it for 4 months, or less than 4 months. It feels like this story's going to run and run with her kind of sort of getting into David's life and between them. But I suppose 2 months is still long enough for that to happen. Theo, it could well be that the story has come to the end of the line by then, because it'll have been going a year or so then. Maggie, we were saying that we'd be surprised if she's still in the show at the end of the year. She does just strike me as a temporary character, but I wouldn't have said she's that temporary, and I think that would probably be my biggest disappointment if it were Maggie, because I want to give her a chance. I do really like her. I get why some people don't like her, and it would feel like a shame if people were robbed of the chance of, or Maggie was robbed of the chance of getting people a bit more invested in her and enjoying her more.
Do you feel like you're going to be really scrutinising the stories of these characters a lot more in the run up to April?
I suppose they're going to be putting more clues in, aren't they? But did they need to? Because they did kind of give reasons in this episode for why it could be them. Apart from Maggie, I suppose. What was her line? Like, oh, I die for my family.
I'm loyal to my family.
Yeah. Like, Carl's... It could be Carl because...
Let's talk about why each one of them... Well, no, you just started. Let's talk about why each one of them could be a victim.
So Carl, just because... Well, he's rubbing everyone up the wrong way, isn't he?
Oh, he likes rubbing people up the wrong way. I'm just going to say quickly before I forget, I think that one of these victims, one of these 5 suspects is going to be a victim and one of them is going to be the murderer.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Right, so Carl, yeah, so who hates Carl? I mean, obviously,
well, in the episode,
Ryan.
It was Kevin who said you're going to get your just desserts, isn't it? But yeah, it could be Ryan, it could be Ronnie, it could be Kevin, it could be Abby. And I suppose that's a little bit more exciting because it feels like whoever it is a main character. But again, I think you're on the money when you say one of them could be the murderer, because I don't think that the murderer is going to be
a major
character either. I think it's going to be another disposable character that offs the actual one.
So
because it's not. I mean, they said they had that prophetic shot of Todd washing the knife in the sink, didn't they?
Yes.
And I do not think that they're going to have Todd become a murderer. I don't believe that in the slightest, and I think that would be mega disappointing if they did, to be honest. I know that in the Yasmin story they had her whacking Jeff with the bottle, but if Yasmin had actually killed Jeff, that would have been horrific for the character, and I can't see how she could have even stayed in the show. I don't think it's going to be Theo here unless it's somebody else who does it. And who else has Theo been kind of winding up? I don't know. George, Christina, Sarah. Again,
are you talking about Theo being the victim?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see any of those characters being a murderer as well.
Well, look, let's go back to Carl quickly because James has obviously had a thing with Carl, but also he had a thing with Theo. You know, that confrontation that they had that time.
I don't think that James has got it in him. I think he's a bit more. He's a bit too dull to be a murderer.
But you were just saying that you would want to get rid of James not that long ago. So would this not be a great opportunity?
It would.
Now, the fact that this happens on Swala wedding day, do you think that has any significance to who is going to be the perpetrator or the victim? Because obviously
have to be, does it?
Ryan is very involved loves Carla and Lisa, and we saw today Carl was looking at the bit of paper to see that he owns the insurance of the hotel.
Oh yes.
Is he going to try and burn the hotel down on
possibly.
Lisa and Carla's wedding day, and then Ryan kills him?
Maybe.
Or he burns himself to death.
Although,
because
if he's got the idea in his head to go and burn down the hotel, then why is he waiting 2 months for it?
Well, also, how... he can't... Whoever is... The body is, found on the street, isn't it? It's not like you can't be burned to a crisp and then drag yourself...
Well, they...
But the whole point...
They didn't say exactly where she found the body, did she?
The whole point of the clips of all the characters were all alive while the fireworks were going off. standing on the cobbles in the darkness.
Well, it's interesting that a lot of them, apart from Maggie, maybe, had bruises. It's like they'd already been in a fight, and they seemed very much alive.
So Megan had a bloody nose.
Yeah.
Jodie had a bruise. It looked like it could be a bruise or a bit of dirt on her cheekbone, jawline. Carl had a black eye.
Yeah.
Theo, did he have something?
Yeah, he had a cut lip or something.
And Maggie didn't have anything. I think Maggie
was just standing there glowering.
Was there a big out of control brawl at the wedding? I mean, who do you think out of those characters was invited? I think that Megan had nice lippy on. She might have been invited, but why would Daniel go to Lisa and Carla's wedding?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who out of those people would have gone? Carl? No. Well, Carl works at the hotel, so he might be there.
Well, he didn't anymore, does he? He's been fired.
I think that Debbie's going to have something to say about that. Maggie won't be invited.
I think that you're right to point out the fact that they have all been involved in some kind of brawl. So in a way, it literally could be any of them. And even if they're not murdered,
any of them what
that are killed, right. But even if they're not, then there's going to be some kind of fisticuffs for all of them. They're all going to be involved in some kind of violent confrontation.
Do you think it's going to get a bit stupid if we just watch like an episode of people punching each other all separately and randomly?
It could do.
Do you not think it makes more sense there's like a mass fight? Or if maybe there's an accident? Or maybe they were in the fire at the Chariot Square Hotel and there was a big like stampede and they all had to rush out and people were knocking each other in the face?
Well, maybe.
And they've all run to the run home. But then why would Betsy and Lauren be coming home from town going if Lisa and Carla were like burning to death in their wedding hotel? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Or maybe the wedding, I think Carl's behind some mischief at the wedding that causes a bit of a scuffle. But why Theo and Megan and Carl, well, no, not Carl, and Jodie were there? I don't know. Why they would be invited.
At the moment, it's not clear at all to me why Jodie would be injured, because nobody hates Jodie at the moment, do they? I think that's going to be something that comes across over the next 2 months. David's obviously a little bit curious, a bit suspicious of her. But by that point, has she made a move on David and Shona's lashed out on her? Or has something happened with her dad? Because he's certainly, not completely of sound mind. So maybe he's done her in.
I'm going to say that the wounds are a red herring and whoever is killed, it's got nothing to do with whatever injury they have on their face. That's just to make it dramatic and they'll explain that separately. Like Jodie could have got into an altercation with Shona or her dad, or I don't think David would hit her, but because he's Shona clocking her around the jaw.
I totally can. Yeah, I mean, you're right. The injuries that we saw can't be directly related to how they die, and they were all kind of there on their own, weren't they? Did you get the impression that any of them could have been like they'd been involved in something, got hurt and then run away, and they're on the run from whoever their potential murderer was?
It's difficult to know.
I think the actual episode in April is going to keep us guessing right until the very, very end when it happens, and maybe they'll pull the rug out from under us and make it look like, oh, you thought it was going to be so and so, but actually it's not. I am kind of looking forward to that over the next couple of months, going, oh, could it be them? Could it be them? And I think Corrie and their publicity have said, well, 1 minute you think it's going to be this, and the next you think it's going to be that. It's interesting because it clearly is a massive rip-off of The Six, and Corrie from EastEnders, and Corrie's going to have to work hard
justify why it's different.
Yeah. And already, the characters that were involved in The Six, I believe, were an awful lot more exciting than any of these ones that are in the Coronation Street Flashforward. So they've already got a bit of an uphill struggle there. And they don't have different coloured dresses or anything.
No, they don't have colour coordination. One thing about you were saying about the way where they were situated and like they looked all like they were separate and where they were standing. I'm not sure how much of that is artistic license for the Flash Forward and whether they're going to be in a completely different place.
No, I don't
Corrie's done that before. I don't think they'd be above doing it.
I don't think so. Although it did kind of wind me up a little bit, all the camera spinning.
But they were... I can't remember if all of them... You saw fireworks for all of them because...
I think they mostly were.
I know, but what I'm going to say to you is the fireworks anchor them in a specific moment in time. So you know that Megan was standing on the street when the fireworks were going off.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure that all of... I know, but were all of them? Because that could be another red herring. You think that these are happening simultaneously, but actually, do you not think it's a bit weird that they'd all be standing on the street separately by themselves, looking panicked, not hiding, but just standing there while the fireworks go off and no one else is around apart from these 5 characters.
I was very intrigued about Maggie's look because she was the only one who wasn't looking a bit kind of
worried.
Yeah. She was looking very schemy, wasn't she? Like she's set something in motion, or
she was looking triumphant, wasn't she?
Yeah,
she was looking like I've done something now.
Yeah, I mean, by this point, I kind of hope that Will and Megan's relationship will come out in the next couple of months. I don't want that to be strung on for any longer than that. So when it comes out that Megan is a massive pedo, then Maggie is going to be on the warpath for her. And I think that if anyone's killing Megan, it's going to be Maggie, particularly after what we saw happen in the flashback episode to Ireland back in December when she was a little bit violent.
But if I know anything about Maggie, she's not going to go quietly. So if she's killed Megan, what if she pins it on someone else? What if she pins it on Carl or Theo or Jodie?
Yeah, could do. I
can see her scheming like that. I mean, we've already seen her scheming with Will. I mean, could Will be the murderer of Megan? We're jumping all over the place here. We talked about who could be killing Carl. For Theo, I mean, it feels very clear that the main culprit might be Todd, but
like I said, it could be anyone else that's feeling sorry for
yes
Todd.
It could be. The thing about Theo dying is that it doesn't really do justice to the coercion storyline and domestic abuse, and I think a lot of people would argue that it's not a realistic portrayal, is it? It doesn't show him triumphing and leaving.
No, but we were saying the same thing about the Jeff storyline. Was he going to end up being sent down? No, he just fell off a roof.
Accident. Well, I mean, again, we don't know that someone's been murdered. We've just assumed this. Somebody could just die. Like, if you found Jeff being pecked by chickens, they could have done a flash forward of Jeff being pecked by chickens, and then we wonder how we got there.
Yeah.
I think it would be a massive cop-out if there isn't a murder.
I think it is. I think they've even said in the publicity that.
But more than one person could die. There could be more than one victim here. These 5 people, there could be an additional.
They
death
do like
to,
sometimes in these whodunits twist things, and I mean the other thing is like actually it's nobody, because when they have the whodunit, if there is a murderer, when it's like who is the murderer, they'll often say these are the suspects, but actually it's none of them, like the Frank Foster murder, for example.
Right, so Theo, I mean, George, Danielle.
Yeah, Danielle maybe, again, because if Danielle kills Theo, then she's utterly disposable. Like, who cares if she's being sent down?
Millie does. Millie and Frank, whatever his name is. What's the kid?
Miles.
Right.
Because they were very unimaginative with their children names. I just can't see the murderer being anybody of note. To be quite frank. Right,
so Megan, why is Megan dressed up and why has she got a bloody nose? Maybe she just has a bloody nose.
There's no reason for her to have gone to the wedding, like you said. So maybe she was out on a romantic date with Will or something.
Or Daniel.
And somebody saw them.
Yes, and she's killed one of these other people just completely out of the blue.
No, she doesn't come across as somebody who would do that. I think that maybe she's been caught and maybe Maggie or Ben or someone has lamped her one.
I can see Ben hitting her.
I can.
And then completely regretting it and having a crisis for hitting a woman.
Yeah, because we saw in the episode how much he sprung to the defence of Will, and I don't think he would have any qualms about, lashing out at Megan.
It's also really interesting because we interviewed Aaron McCusker when we went to the press day, and he was very... Like, one of the things he really wanted to talk about was how much of a bad temper Ben has, but how much of a good guy he is underneath.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of the story he and Pauline McLynn knew that they were going to be involved in a flash. They would have known at that point that they were going to be involved in something.
Yeah, because I mean, this must have been filmed like early December, maybe mid-December. I'm guessing.
Yeah, and the press day was.
No, but that was in October, so it was coming up.
Yeah, so it's really so Meghan could have been killed by. I mean, not Sam on ADHD medication.
No. Again, there's not a chance in how they're going to make Sam a murderer. Same with Daniel. I really do think that it's going to be nobody of note.
What do you mean nobody of note?
You know, it's going to be a side character, as in the same way that the victims
I don't
are all
think
somebody
these
who's
are
only been
all
in the
really
show for a year.
side characters. I completely know what you're saying. But these are still main characters. This is the new world order of Coronation Street, isn't it? Where the main characters have only been in it for a year. Maybe we don't have any institutional memory.
Maybe Ollie whacks her around the head with a frying pan. Like, you say I haven't got a personality, have you? Well, get this.
Look at this. I mean, Will is kind of all the Driscolls. It's funny because Maggie and Meghan are in the same story, and the other characters aren't. They've Jodie, Carl and Theo all have separate. So some overlap between the victims
more likely to
and
be
the
a
perpetrators.
Driscoll.
Yeah, Will, Eva, Ben.
I mean, you could have, you know, maybe
Ollie.
Will attacks Maggie after she finds out about them to try and keep his illicit liaison with Meghan
Will
quiet.
attacks Maggie. Yeah, could be.
I mean, he's got a temper on him, hasn't he?
Well, I can see Maggie.
I
can see Maggie protecting Will, but telling him to end it with Meghan and him not wanting to. We still don't know what's going on with the baby, do we? Whether she's still pretending to be pregnant, or if she's forgotten that she's pregnant, or if she said that
she is pregnant, isn't she?
I don't know.
I think she is pregnant.
Well,
I believe.
What about this secret brother? It's not a secret brother, but the Driscoll brother.
Oh, Finlay.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think that we have got a good chance of seeing him this.
I've got no spoiler information about whether he's been cast or who he is.
No,
he's coming
no
into
idea
the show,
whatsoever.
But it would be a massive misstep to not at least think about him in this.
Yeah, like will we in the next 2 months find out about what Maggie's secret in Ken's cupboard was, and is that going to play into this story at all?
Yes.
Maybe she's killed by Peter Barlow.
Yeah, or Ken, or Tracy.
God killer Ken. Can you imagine?
Tracy's got form.
Yeah, that's true. Who else we got?
We've talked about everybody now. Jodie. Jodie feels like the dullest. Like not to be rude, but that she feels like the dullest prospect to me because it's such an insular storyline that involves only really a guy that we don't know, the dad, Shona and David, who they're not going to lose for this storyline.
No.
I mean, the baby might get loose. I'm not sure if Harper's can be considered a possible suspect.
Carl, he's in a relationship with Jodie, isn't he?
Yeah.
But again, is there any reason why he would kill her? Unless,
she's annoying.
If he's set Chariot Square on fire and she finds out about it, could she be bumped off by Carl to keep her quiet?
Yeah.
Possibly.
I mean, is there any link to Graham from Emmerdale?
Well, yeah, that's the other big elephant that's not in the room at the moment. Is he going to come back, and are we going to find, hopefully, more about Jodie and what she was doing in that van over the next couple of months as well?
I don't know, but I'm very excited to find out. I think that there are so many possibilities, and I also think that in about 2 or 3 weeks' time, we'll have a completely different take on this because of how the story develops.
Yeah,
I think it's going to constantly shift.
I think it will. We're going to be saying, oh, it's definitely going to be so-and-so that kills so-and-so. I think that's what they want, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Like, the Corrie's best whodunit in recent memory was the Who Pushed Ken, and we were going back and forth to different characters all the time.
And they were all so plausible.
The difference there is, that was that was not a flash anything. That was people looking shifty and acting in a way that might suggest that they had done something. And nobody in the next couple of months is going to know that they will A, be murdered or B, be a murderer.
Do you know what would be quite hilarious?
So nobody's going to be acting suspicious because they haven't done anything yet, It'd
be quite a hilarious twist if, Coronation Street was like, oh, no, it's not a mystery. We're going to show Carl, plotting to murder Jodie on the 23rd of April. I mean, we haven't even mentioned that's not the only significant date we've got coming up because the 25th of March is going to be
Todd and Theo.
Todd and Theo. Is that going to play into anything? Because obviously, by the 23rd, they should be married. I'm going to suggest that maybe they aren't. Maybe Theo runs away and comes back.
Why would he run away?
To add to drama, Michael.
It's if they wouldn't get married,
month, isn't it?
Yeah, if they don't get married, I would have thought it'd be more likely that Todd doesn't turn up on the day and he has a feeling of, I can't do this.
I meant that something dreadful happens and Theo runs away. Not that he doesn't go to the wedding. I think that Theo wants to get married.
Do you think that the marriage is actually going to happen then?
No, I don't think so. But I mean, what is just to briefly talk about Todd with his money box? I get the impression he's saving to leave Theo.
Yeah.
But it seems like a very slow process if he's doing it mile by mile.
Pound by pound, isn't it? He's going to have to use some of it.
It'd be quicker to literally run 7 miles away and stay there.
Was I right in thinking that the money box had been moved in the cupboard in today's episode?
It's obviously been discovered, hasn't it?
Right, yeah.
Right, are we?
Yeah, I mean that's initial reactions, isn't it? That's half an hour of
it's longer than the show was.
Thoughts of it. I'm very intrigued. I think
I'm excited. I'm
hoping to be more excited than I currently am.
I'm so sad you're not loving it like I am.
Yeah, I think just because of the characters involved, and I think that I think they want it to feel bigger than it will be, but maybe this is just me.
My perspective is I never imagined that they would kill off anyone significant. So the fact that they have chosen 5 decent characters who are interesting and have big stories, even though they feel disposable, I mean, it's a kind of indictment on Coronation Street that they've got 5 major characters that feel incredibly disposable.
They've built up a reputation of bringing in characters, and then getting rid of them, having them do their thing for a storyline and then off they go.
My point is that they're using them for good now. They're using that element of their characters for a good purpose.
Yeah. Okay, just before we finish then, if we've got to straight down the line, who do you think is going to be? Who's your main prediction now, and who would you most like it to be? And I think that's where we need to end.
Oh, that's a good one. I think I most would like it to be Megan killed by Maggie, who then pins it on Theo or.
Yeah, and who do you think it's going to be? Because
I think it's going to. The person I least want it to be is Jodie, because I just don't care.
Yeah. I think I would probably most want it to be Carl, because I'm just desperate for him to not be in the programme anymore. And it's no slight on the actor. It's just he really grinds like he is.
I don't think it will be Carl, because he's still got so much story to go with being Debbie's son and...
Yes.
And Kevin's
That's
brother.
A really good point.
And Debbie's not going to die by April. So she's going to be in the show for a long time, having had a son, and then what's the point of that?
It's really difficult to put my finger on who I think it's most likely to be at the moment. Maybe I think it's most likely to be Carl as well.
Really?
Yes, it's going to leave me more disappointed in the end.
I don't want it to be Theo.
The one who I want it to be the least, by a long margin, is Maggie. I do not want it to be her. I want... Mega disappointed. I
do really like... I keep saying rude things about all these characters, but calling them disposable, and they're not... I think that they've all got potential to be in the show, but because they're villains, I think Maggie's definitely a villain. It's a shame, because I like her, but...
I don't know whether she... we said we were supposed to be wrapping this up, but Maggie, to me, doesn't feel like as much of a villain.
I know what you're saying.
A bit of a cantankerous busybody.
She killed Alan.
Yeah, I know, but I think she's just
last
annoyed.
Time you said she didn't kill him.
No, she didn't kill him. I think that she just winds people up and she's horrible.
She's got a terrible personality.
Yeah, but she's not a villain in the same way as the others are. She's not... Maybe she is scheming, but it doesn't feel like she's scheming in the same way as some of the others. I mean, the most villainous one of all of these is Theo, I would say.
Theo's killed somebody.
Yeah.
So let's just talk briefly about their crimes. Okay, Carl is what? He's a fraudster and a thief.
Yeah.
Theo is a murderer and an abuser.
Yeah.
Maggie is also perhaps a murderer and just a bitch, which is the worst thing a woman can be.
But we need more women like that in Coronation Street. That's why I say keep her.
Megan is a paedophile. Not very good, is it? And no. Jodie hasn't done anything yet.
She hasn't done anything yet, but she's very villain coded.
Did she murder the children in the locket? Don't know.
She's very villain coded, and she's giving all these, giving people hugs and then looking evil over the shoulder. And
seductress.
What did she do to her dad, if anything?
She's a strumpet. That's what she is.
I always want it to be Carl. I think it is most likely to be Carl, and I most would not like it to be Maggie in my answers for those questions. So there we go.
Wow. What do you think, everybody? We cannot wait to hear what all the theories.
Yes, send us in your comments and your theories. We missed anything.
Somebody's going to tweet exactly the scenario that happens.
That's the thing. I think somebody will work it out.
But we won't know. The thing is, I think as long as it's going to be guessable, because there's limited, it
doesn't feel like it's one of these things that if somebody guesses, we'll go, oh yeah, of course, it's obvious, it's that person. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't feel like that really sort of murderer, no.
It's more like when we see it happen, we'll go, oh yeah!
So-and-so was right.
Yeah.
Okay, right, well, there we go.
Thank you, Coronation Street, for entertaining us with an accidental flash forward.
Yes.
And a real one. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, right. Well, that's it then. We better get on with the things. Yeah, all right, let's go. Bye.